hours of the 29th of October last year, two friends were making their way home from a night out in Bristol city centre.
Two friends have been out on a works night out. They're walking down Park Street, back down towards Broadquay to get buses and taxis home. It can still be significantly busy at that time in the morning. It's not unusual for people to be milling about.
The friends were approached by a group of three men, one of whom left before things quickly turned sour.
An argument started and two males began to push and shove the two friends. That has then escalated into them being punched to the head and body, causing one of the friends to be knocked unconscious for approximately a minute.
A member of the public witnessed the attack. Horrified by what he'd seen, he decided to confront the two men who'd now been rejoined by the third.
He's walked across Broadquay and has approached those three males. He is then being hit, causing him to be knocked unconscious and fall and hit his head on the concrete. The CCTV of the one punch is significant. That punch was thrown to cause significant injury.
With their third victim lying unconscious on the street, the attackers fled.
When someone's knocked unconscious, causing them to fall and hit their head on the concrete, resulting in multiple fractures and bleeding on the brain, there's a significant risk that they may not survive that level of assault. Staff at the hospital believe the injuries to be life-threatening.
"20 minutes later, in nearby St Nicholas Market, two men are captured on camera. Police later tracked them from the location of the assaults to this street using CCTV. Detectives believe they are the men responsible.
They're smoking, they appear to be quite jovial, they appear to be talking about the assault. What we would love is some help from members of the public in identifying who these males are.
The men are then seen arriving at a nearby guest house before leaving Bristol the following morning. The two friends who'd been assaulted required medical treatment.
Both of them received cuts and bruises, as well as chipped teeth. They were very lucky with that level of injury, given the level of attack that they were subject to.
Meanwhile, doctors fought to save the life of the man who'd intervened.
At the beginning of the outset, we weren't convinced that he was going to survive from this assault. He received multiple fractures to his skull, bleeding on the brain, and was placed in an induced coma for 3 days, and long-lasting damage to his eyesight. He is very lucky to be alive. It's really important that we identify these males. For people to be willing to commit this level of unprovoked assault on a night out, we believe would suggest that they will have done the same thing previously. Now it's important not just to get justice for our two friends and our witness who were attacked, but also to prevent these three from attacking anybody else and potentially causing even more significant and serious injury to other members of the public.
And I'm with DS Paul Newell from Avon and Somerset Police. You saw from the film there. Paul, this really is a horrible assault. The huge level of violence. How are those victims doing now?
So the first two victims received sort of cuts and bruises and chipped teeth. So they've been given the level of the assault, they've been very lucky. The final victim, who was the last one to be knocked unconscious, he was placed in an induced coma for 3 days. He suffered bleeding on the brain, a fractured skull. He really was lucky to pull through, and now he's sustained life-changing injuries. In fact, we spoke to him yesterday. He's really struggled to put into words how this has made him feel, but he says he doesn't go out on nights out anymore, and he only socialises with people that he knows.
It's clearly had a devastating impact on
absolutely.
his life. So we need to find out who's responsible. Just remind us when and where this occurred.
Yeah, so this happened in the early hours of Saturday, 29th of October 2022, about 5:45 in the morning in Bristol city centre. It was at the junction of Broad Quay, Baldwin Street and Corn Street.
That's what we can just see on the map there. Now, we saw some CCTV in the film there that was taken after the attack. Just talk us through what we're seeing here.
So these two males are on St Nicholas Market shortly after the assaults. They're clearly quite relaxed and, to be honest, quite jovial, which really is particularly shocking given that they've just left 2 people unconscious and the level of violence that they've used.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, what we do have, though, is some really clear images that can help this investigation. So just talk us through the description of who you need to trace.
Yeah. So the first male is in a blue t-shirt and blue jeans. He's of stocky build with short, dark hair. The second male is slightly shorter. He's wearing a long sleeve white top with the sleeves pushed up, black trousers, and he's got dark hair and a short beard, and they both have Irish accents.
Okay, and we're looking at the image here of the suspects at this stage who may or may not be involved. Now, this happened in Bristol, but you don't believe that these 2 males are local, and that could be significant.
That's correct. We believe they've got links throughout the UK.
Okay, so wherever our viewers are right now, have a good look at these images because you could help. Well, thank you. Have a good look. Do you recognise them? Were you in Bristol city centre that night? And did you witness anything? Please do get in touch. The number is 08000 468 999. Or you can email or text us using the details at the bottom of your screen.